All right, restarted some shit, trying to make this work. This is a shit show at this point. But hey, you live and learn, as always. Worst case scenario, do this from my phone again. So if it doesn't work, it is what it is. But I'll try my best. Really, I don't need to see so many things. Fingers crossed. Yeah, girl. Fingers crossed. I am going to pop the chat out here, put this window down. Hopefully this is gonna. So what I done, I put I put my extender on an extension cord and put it halfway between the house and the shack. But if that doesn't work, we're gonna go back to old school and we're gonna do it from the phone. I'm so sorry, guys. But hey, at least I'm trying. Okay, let's pop a cold one. Lemon soda, my favorite. Yeah, eventually something will happen, like we're gonna manage. The worst thing is when you have OCD and ADHD and you're trying to fix a stream. That's the worst. So we are not going to touch anything. I'm just gonna put everything here, out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. Put it here, nice and smooth. And the funniest thing is, I am a computer engineer. I solve so difficult problems on computer systems. It's not even funny. And I can't make work a fucking live stream on YouTube. Eh, never mind. But at least you guys are here. I'm here. I got my lemon soda. You got your own drink. And we're just gonna hang out. It's such a crazy fucking weekend. I really need to decompress and just chill with you guys because oh my god, these 2 days were the craziest I had this year. Ooh, cookie. Oh, enjoy your biscuit. Oh god, no. Oh, the YouTubing. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a different kind of cookie. It's not really though because it's just like I exactly know how it works, and I know exactly how it should work. The problem is YouTube doesn't have the necessary implementations for me to be able to see what is actually happening behind the curtains. So it's like dumbed down or idiot proof, or it's like I can only press like 4 buttons, which is start the stream, stop the stream, and modify the text what's written there, and that's basically it, right? So to see what is the actual problem of the stream, like what is missing, does it have like lags of data, or maybe I could just feed it enough video so in case I lose connection it doesn't stop. It's just using that amount up until I reconnect and I feed it more. And anyway, not gonna worry about that right now. At least it's working. At least you're here, and we can just hang out. But yeah, so weekend was crazy, guys. I tried to negotiate a shop or a what is it called, like a store space to rent from the 1st of June, and the owner is literally the shadiest businessman I ever seen, and my agent is basically looking out for herself. Hi, Tinus. You made it back, and I'm here, and we'll see how far it goes. I will not stop this stream. If it's choppy, it's choppy. We pray to the gods for good weather, and we might present a sacrifice if anyone comes in here for good bandwidth. But yeah, we take it as we go. So yeah, negotiating a storefront. Basically, I got the contract written up. It was a one-page contract for the lease, and the whole contract was about how the owner is not responsible for anything in the shop, like physically, like if this fails or plumbing or whatever happens, it's on me. I have to fix it. I have to sort it out, and they are basically only responsible for taking the money. And I was like, I used to rent stuff in England, and in England it's quite different because in England you're protected by law. So if something messes up, the landlord has to fix things and all that, and the landlord has to pay for stuff and all that. But here, yeah, this is just not the thing, you know. So we went back and forth, and I checked out a few other places because we had this gut feeling with my wife that this guy might not be the best for us. But the time is so short, so I really need to open the place in like a week. So the time is so short before the season that I don't have too many options anymore. So we went and looked at about like 4 other places, but 3 of them were already rented out in about 3 days or 4 days, and the rest were just in such a state that I need to spend another like 20-40K on it to renovate it by myself before I can actually start using it as a storefront or a workshop or whatever, you know. So that was yesterday and that was today. And meanwhile, I wanted to do some relaxing woodworking because lately I've been doing epoxy. And my therapeutic escape from all this world around me is woodworking. And I am a enthusiastic amateur in regards of woodworking. Basically, I know how to use the tools. I know algebra. I know mathematics. And I'm a good logical thinker, like an engineer. So technically, I have everything I need to be a good woodworker. Only problem is, I don't have the space and the facilities to do exact measurements, cut exactly as how I need to, anyway, it never works out as I wanted to. But I want to do like a chill project. So I was like, so I went on YouTube and I saw a video of a guy who made a simple ass chopping board, right? So, and the chopping board was basically, let me try to explain it to you. So he got a board like that, a big thick board, right? And he sliced it up into pieces and he glued them together grain upwards, which is a nice way to make a very solid and rigid cutting board, and it's very durable. So I watched this, and I know how this happens. And then the dude finished it with something. He said he oiled it, but it was like piano gloss. I don't even know how that is possible. Like, you can use varnish, you can flat coat it with epoxy, you can use French polish, you can actually polish the wood up to shine that much. But the dude flooded with some liquid, and he said he only used mineral oil on it. And I'm like, my man, what is the grit you sended that thing up to? Because if you sended it over like more than I don't know 350 grit, that thing will not soak in there. So anyway, he made the piece, poured the thing on, and he did the B-roll glam shots, right? And the thumbnail for the video was, the surprise face and the board. These furniture which was made in like the early 20th century with the shellac lacquer on it, like you can see your face in it, and that was the thumbnail, right? And I'm like, fuck. I went down, I watched this video, I spent about half an hour watching this video, trying to get some information out on how to finish it, this finish. And it turns out it was a fucking clickbait, and the dude did a movie magic finish on it, so like a thick liquid something. Like, he didn't touch it. That was the thing. It was just camera going around it. And I got sucked into this, and I gave him the view, and I was still not smarter. So anyway, I started on my own project, and I wanted to make a mahogany cutting, right? And I was thinking how to do it like to a glossy shine, and then I just gave up. I just gave up. I done board, and I oiled it up to that silky smooth shine, but I can still feel the wood grain, because that's something I like, and I think it came out really good. But yes, this was the project I was working on like yesterday and today, and this is the first time I used my dual crafting resin just arrived, which I never had before. And that was the first time I tested that and how that works. It actually came out pretty nice. I shot a video of it. Probably I'm gonna edit it up and upload it tomorrow. But yeah, that was this crazy weekend. And whenever I didn't do that, I tried to set up this system. Relaxing. Oh yeah, and yesterday I went to the beach. First time this year. Last weekend of May, I went to the beach, and I had a quick swim. So I had my head underwater. Okay, so every part of my body was wet. Technically, I swam, but it was cold. It's still cold. Cold, I mean, like it's like 19 degrees Celsius. So it's not cold, but it's cold for my lazy bum. I have friends here who are like local island boys. They swim all year round, like even if the water is like 10 degrees. Yeah, I know, but it's summer here. Like it's if I have a sunny day, it goes up to like 35, 40 degrees. It's not as hardcore as Aryan's place in Nepal, because he is living on a plateau, and that is bloody hot. But still, it's something. Last year this time we were already swimming. 2 years of swimming December because the weather was so mild. So yeah. Anyway, done the first swim. That was a plus. Yeah, I bet, man. You told me Nepal is insane. And I wouldn't think, like, when I think of Nepal, and excuse my, but when I think of Nepal, I think of the mountains. Turns out Nepal is bigger than the mountains, and there is very hot weather. Aryan can testify. What you guys been up to this week? How was your week? Tell me about it. Tell me all about it. Because I need some news. Yeah. I actually did the video on choosing epoxy. I don't know if you guys seen it, but that was fun. That was also a fun research project. I try to upload a video each day, so I'm kind of getting lost in what has been uploaded, what hasn't been uploaded, because sometimes I shoot like 2 or 3 videos a day. Hey man, just found the channel some days ago. Very nice content and information here. Thanks for sharing the knowledge. I'd like to ask you what you think about mixing acrylic paint on some other product to stain wood. Okay, first of all, happy birthday to your son. So you want to use mixing acrylic paint with some other product to stain wood. So acrylic paint in itself doesn't change the color of anything. Acrylic paint, when you apply acrylic is kind of plastic. When you apply it, it stays on the surface and adds a color to it. But if you dilute acrylic paint in something to stain wood, that might work. You know what? Let's do a live test on that. Let me get them off cut. All right, I got my first challenge of the day. Hold on, I'm still here. I'm not dead. So I got the easiest piece of wood to stain. This is spruce. It's an offcut. So we're gonna give it a go. Let's just do something fun. Adjust the camera. Piece of wood. And acrylic paint. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I have. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for something acrylic because I have like fingerprint paints, but I'm not 100% sure if that's acrylic paint. I got pigments here. Give me a sec. Working on it. Are you acrylic paint by any chance? Okay, you know what? We're going to do several tests. We are going to use this guy. We are going to use this guy. And that is basically all the acrylic paint I have on hand. Okay, so Nepal has 3 regions: Himalayas, Pahad, small mountainous regions, and Tara, plain. It's too cold in the Himalayas, cold in Pathal, and too hot in Terai. Dude, that's the best. Oh my god. Like, oh, I'm so sorry for you, man. Okay, let's find something to mix it in. And thanks for helping me out with the shopping list. I bought party cups. Okay, this is gonna be too big. I am going to use these little plastic containers. I have a feeling that I should move my mouse away from this area, just in case I move my phone as well, because hey, it's me doing crafting. Okay, so this is my work area. This is where you see the shit I'm doing. Good. All right, I'm gonna do experimenting live. Fun times. Popsicles. We're gonna need popsicles. And I should wear some gloves because fuck knows we're gonna do today. Can I swear on live, or I'm gonna be demoted and my live stream is gonna be hidden and I don't get any money from YouTube? Hey, who cares? We're gonna have fun today. I really need this. Okay, so I feel like a mad scientist now, or a very fancy cook. Brain fart? Yes. Let's dilute this thing in alcohol, because these are water-based stuff. So, but alcohol dries faster. So I'm gonna use, this is, I don't know if it's acrylic paint or not, because I bought a box of these, and this was in the kit section in the supermarket, and they are like finger paints or something. So we're gonna use some of it. Yay. That's a bit much. I don't know. It's very scientific. Stories from the frontier. What kind of color powders you are using, and can I use something cheap? Oh my man, I have a story to tell. So when I started out, okay, I went to the big YouTubers, obviously, and to the big channels to learn about epoxy art. And I learned about mica powders and what they are, and how to get them, and so on and so forth. So I bought this box of eye candy. It's a sample box. It has 30 packs in it. This is an extremely good mica powder. It looks fancy as heck, and it has a very good coloring. But I'm just shaking this bottle. But it's fucking expensive. This 30 colors, right? And this comes in like these pot buckets, and it's like I don't know, 10 grams in it or something. Anyway, long story short, it was $100. This little box. And then I realized that's not gonna be enough colors for me to work with. So I bought the cheapest possible mica on Amazon. It's the German Amazon cheapest mica powder, and it comes in this little plastic shit. And they are rebranded like 10 or 15 times. So same plastic bottle, different label on it on Amazon. I bought a pack of these, and it has like 30 or 40 different colors in it. And I had that for $20, the whole pack. And let me tell you, my man, they are exactly the same. And then I made my rant video, okay, about all this shit. And turns out in the comment section, there are way smarter people than I am. I put way too much acrylic into this one. So anyway, there are way smarter people than I am. They use mica powder from eyeshadows and makeup. So that's something you can use and it still works. So you don't have to worry about that. Some people are buying big bags of mica, what they use for soaps and for car paints and you name it. And this works too. So don't worry about it if it's made for something else. Mica is basically just a ground up stone, which makes it sparkly, and they put pigment coloring in it. Watch my video on what is the difference of inks, dyes, and pigments. That will help you. All right, so I have these two. Oh, I'm so professional. Like, I was born ready. Okay, so piece of wood here. I already messed it up. Anyway, let's do some magic. I am going to put 95% whatever kind of alcohol in this. It's isopropyl. It's isopropyl alcohol. And let's see what I do. Okay, so it doesn't want to dissolve, which is fun. Ew. Okay, so you can't dissolve this in alcohol. Can you see it? So that's a lesson we just learned. So scratch that. If you have water-based acrylic, you have to use water as a solvent. But hey, this is why we're here. So let's get 2 more of these plastic thingies and give it a shot again. Can you use acrylic paints to stain wood? Oh, come apart. Ah! I am a very patient artist, as you can see. All right, so get my beautiful pinky stuffy. I should get a paper towel. I'll get this right before I start wiping shit on my not working t-shirt. All right, so coloring. Okay, let's do that. Let's do one first. And I have a little water here. Okay. All right, it's working. It's working. Okay, so I'm gonna make this. How do you sell all of your things that you make? Do you have some online store, or how do you sell all of your stuff? I made a video on this one too. There is a video I made on how business tutorials lie to you, and that came out a little doomy. And then I made a video on how to actually do business with your woodworking and epoxy art. And answer your question, I do have a web shop, and I sold fuck all on that web shop because I need to invest into Google advertisements and social media advertisements, and I need to have a marketing company which I pay about $500 each month to promote my shit, to deal with the administration of promotion, because the market online is saturated. And the worst thing is transportation and actually moving the stock is. So let's take a coffee table, for example. A mahogany coffee table with epoxy river in the middle with steel legs, it's about 35 to 40 kilograms. Like the one I made, okay? It could be lighter, could be heavier. And to transport anywhere inside the European Union, okay? Not anywhere in the world, just the European Union, which is basically approachable on land from here, it's at least $400. Okay, so if I sell, my material cost on that thing was about $300. My labor was at least a week. So that's, if I don't know, $50 a day, that's another 500. Plus I have to put the transportation fees on it. So it comes out about 1,200 euros. You go on Etsy, okay, you order it from China, you can get it for $200. So I realized, yeah, dude, yeah, it's this expensive. So I realized it is basically I can only sell like small shit, like coasters and trays and all that jazz. But come on, who's gonna go online, okay, search for a web shop and buy a pack of coasters for themselves deliberately, okay, and look for the shop on the internet, not on Etsy, not on eBay, not on Amazon. Guys, I give up on the online sales because It's just doesn't worth it. Anyway, so I dissolved some acrylic paint, and I dissolved it pretty well in water. Let's see if I can stain this wood with it. This is the result. Now, I don't think it works. If I do it on end grain, because that soaks it in more, I mean, you can tint it a tiny bit. Can you see it? Yeah, I mean, you can give it a go, but this isn't soaking in well, and this isn't doing the magic as you would expect. I have Etsy store for almost a year now, but I haven't sold anything yet. That's why I'm saying, like, guys, these videos are all over the internet, right? That fucking, I just saw one 2 or 3 hours ago that I sold 500 of these cutting boards per day. And you look at it, and it's like offcuts glued together online. It's just, and I see there's like 500,000 views on the video, and I go in the comment section, and everybody's praising the dude and thanking the dude, to telling the way to do it, you know, and pretty much everybody gonna start an Etsy shop. Okay, so imagine the like, I don't even know how to say it in English, but imagine the race, or imagine the competition. Yeah, competition. Imagine the competition you have to fight to actually get some results on Etsy. You have to have either a fucking successful YouTube channel, you either have to be an influencer in some way, or TikTok channel, or some media channel to actually get some recognition. And when I say successful, every short reel or whatever you make has to have at least like 2 million views. So the best way to sell stuff is to sell locally, in person. I made an entire video on this, so feel free to go and watch it after the stream. It goes in detail on the steps you need to have or do. Hold up. I have the list right here. I hand wrote it. So I have an entire video on this. Basically, long story short, you have to figure out what you like to make. You have to figure out the market for it. You have to figure out who would buy that thing and how much you can sell it for you to worth it. Then look for the competition, how much they are selling it for, and then go to the place where these kind of people hang out, and network and talk to these people and hang out with these people, and then try to promote your stuff to them. It could be a farmer's market, it could be a maker's market, it could be souvenir shops, it could be furniture stores. But physically, you have to go to somewhere. Okay, extremely rich people don't go on Amazon to buy shit. They go into studios, they go into showrooms, okay? You have to land your stuff in either showroom or gallery or whatever, you know? And that's where you can start selling your one-of-a-kind stuff. And that's the hard pill we all have to swallow, because the internet is full of these gurus who tell you that you can do this or that, and that's gonna make you a lot of dough. Hey, Pecan. Hi. I think the way to go about it would be to keep a good channel and work with people that really admire your work and are willing to pay for the transportation fees. Yes, that would be one way to go about it. But to be honest, when you make a channel, what would be the content? Because So what would be the content for the channel? Because you have to think about that. The people who buy your stuff have to get some content for you to funnel it to the shop. Now, most of the makers on YouTube make making videos. You know who's interested about making videos? Aspiring makers and hobbyists who are trying to make a living, not the rich dudes who are hanging out on the yacht. You know, what about epoxy? Where do you get it? I buy mine for $20 per kilo A and B component. I get mine for $12 a kilo, and this shit is made by a German company called Dupont, and they make automotive epoxies for paints and coverings, and it's a small factory in Germany, and I get it from them. But look for bolting or automotive epoxies and go for the factory. Go to the factory where they produce it and get it in bulk. That's my advice. So what I mean is making, you need to have a way to get in contact with the people who will buy tables for 10 or 20 grand. Okay, whoever is telling you that they make a YouTube channel, okay, and they're selling out on the $5,000 to $20,000 dollar tables, they are fucking lying to you. 10 of them lying. Okay, so out of 10, 8 of them are lying and 2 of them are telling the truth. But the 2 is not selling it via the YouTube videos, or maybe they sold 1 or 2 through a YouTube video, but it's like a fraction of a percentage. What they do is they go hang out with these people, or they hang out with the people who know these people, interior designers, rich land fucking property agents. I don't know. I'm just, throwing shit and see what sticks. But yeah, that's how the word goes around. A word of mouth, personal interpersonal connections. But I see some 4 Eyes Furniture videos. You probably know his channel. The dude has many orders. It's insane. I'll be honest, I have no idea who you're talking about, but let me just do a quick Google on it. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. Oh my god, somebody is trying to get touching that. No. 4 Eyes table. 4 Eyes Furniture videos. He has about 1 million followers, and he is an amazing. I know this guy, but this guy is doing contemporary design, and he is one of the greatest designers on the planet. Right? So he sells shit because he is the GOAT. Okay, I studied CAD design. I studied architectural design, and to be a GOAT, or to be close to being a GOAT, it's extremely hard. That's if 100,000 people starts to do that, one guy gonna get there. It's a fraction of a person. But yeah, he could sell. That's what I mean. He is the fraction percentage. But he doesn't sell because the videos. He sells because in high class, everybody knows his name. Okay? And somebody sees a contemporary design table and he goes, "Darling, where did you get that table?" And he goes, "Oh, that's an up-and-coming artist from I don't know. And yeah, it's his custom made, it's one of a kind. I got it from him." Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's just amazing, But this is how it goes. This is how word of mouth goes, and it's really hard to get in. It's really hard to get in. You might get in, you might get it in, but have a plan B. That's basically my advice. Aryan, $12 is good, depending on how much are your expenses. Like, I pay $12, but for I don't know, for a burger and fries here, I okay for a coffee I pay 5. For a kilo of epoxy I pay 11. So yeah, that's good for me because that's like price of 2 coffee for a kilo of epoxy. But if $12 in your currency is like a week's wages, my man, So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to get into that industry. Now, back to the wood staining. Um, Instead of acrylic, I would recommend you to test out. Hold on. So this is how food dyes work on wood. I don't know if you can see it. They're pretty good. I tinted them about a year ago, and they're still holding strong. What I done, I got some food dye, and I mixed it with alcohol, and some of them got thick, so I had to mix them up again with water. But some of them worked very well with alcohol. The red tends to thicken up. So yeah, food dye. Food dye is my go-to. Only thing is, and one more thing, it's not the creamy food dye or the paste. It's liquid, like water thickness. The other thing I tint is leather dyes, and I thin this up with alcohol. And let me show you a result. So this is blue and red mixed together. Then I sanded it down, but I think it came out pretty good. Can you please focus? Can you please? Anyway, you get the idea. So I would recommend you to do that if you wanna stain wood. The other thing you can stain wood with is vinegar and steel wool. You know what you use to scrub food off from your plate? Use the thinnest steel wool. Get a bunch, put it in apple vinegar or the strongest vinegar you get. That will create iron acetate. And I don't know the word. I forgot the word. Tannin, some shit that's in the wood gets in reaction with that acetate and turns it black. The longer you leave it on it, the blacker it gets. And it depends on the wood, how much of that chemical it has, but you can darken wood with that. Also, you can use coffee, you can use tea to stain wood, but that's just darkening the colors, darkening the original shade. But yeah, if you want to go crazy with staining, go food dye. Well, yeah. One thing about food dyes, guys, I can actually show it to you. It's freaking funny. So we have this piece of wood here, and if you apply heat to the food dye, it will disappear. Sublimate, I think that's the word. So let me show you. I got the blowtorch going. Can you see it? I don't want to burn it, I just want to heat it up. I don't want to point it at my laptop either. Anyway. Okay. Hold on. So let me just try to get rid of the char. Okay, it's hard to see because I charred it, but if you, okay, it doesn't focus. So anyway, the food dye is just whoosh, disappears. Hey, Marcy. You're not late. I started late anyway. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So that happens, and you know how I actually, if I bake a cake, I don't know if you've done it before. I think I have a baker here on the channel. But if you bake a cake and you tint it with food dye, the edge of the cake will lose the color, but the inside of the cake will keep the color. So that's the thing. If you want to go crazy, you can use leather dyes. Does this focusing? Of course it doesn't. It's basically just leather dye. I bought this. You can use inks or other kind of liquid. Basically, use liquid paint or liquid pigment. All right, gloves off. It's 30 degrees. So yeah, that's for staining and tinting and coloring. But before you do that, please make sure you watch a video on what are colors, pigmentations, and what's the difference between all of them. Poink. All right. Ooh, you do mica painting on molds. I saw that technique, and I'm so deadly afraid of it because I don't know. That looks scary to me. it's such a fine work, and I'm gonna mess it up. I know, but I have to do the test on that. I'm working up my bravery for it. But yeah, I have some miniatures I need to assemble and paint, and I have the paint and everything for them. But I'm just so scared of just messing it up. I don't even start on it. It's tedious for sure. Yeah, and I have the shaky hands, so that doesn't help either. How is the stream, guys? The qualities, did it stabilize at all, or are we losing connection sometimes, or how are things? Give me a technical report on what's what, because YouTube doesn't, and I trust you guys more than YouTube. I also made this. Quality is good. Thank you. So this is the soap holder I made from this week's leftover resin. Thank you so much. Yeah, everything is my fault. Not my fault, but every fault that happens comes from my end. It's not you guys. You remember this part? This purplish epoxy we made on the first stream ever? It's funny. You said okay with the little thing on the E. That's how we say it in Hungarian. I was like, who the hell is that? So this is a soap holder. This is basically sits like this. You put you put the soap in here, and the water can go out. And we made it on the first stream. This is tinted with the color of a permanent marker. I ripped the permanent marker apart. Some of you were here, and I dropped some into the epoxy. Now, funny thing is, it never hardened up completely, and it's been a good week now. So it could be the mix, or could be the dye. I'm not sure. We'll see. We give it another week or two. Ah, it's funky. I kind of like it. It's a mess. It's like me. Um, First time we made a C bottom design with this. So what it was actually my wife's idea. So we, because this is upside down in the mode like this. So what we did, we filled it up. Okay, I need to show it to you. So we filled it up to here with light blue, and before it completely cured, we put some seashells and sea urchin shells here into this area. And when it cured, we filled it up with a bit more epoxy. And when that cured, we mixed up some sand with epoxy and we poured it in this area. So when you turn it around, the whole thing looks like seawater here. You have the shells and urchins, and they're sitting on the sand. And it just came out so beautiful. It was so cool and it was so nice. It took us about, like, I don't know, about 6 or 8 workers for the two of us to make, and it was very fiddly, but it came out beautiful. And I was thinking about mass producing it for the shop because it would be a nice souvenir to take home from Egina if you are going home, just to bring something with you. And then I realized if I want to keep at least 20 in stock, I need to work non-stop for at least 2 weeks on this, and I have to get a bunch of molds. Do I have it here? No, I don't have it here. Well, I need to get a bunch of molds, and these molds are freaking expensive. They're like 20 euros a piece, and it's also from China. So yeah, anyhow, I have 2 molds, and I'm using them for this. Yeah. No, my wife, she is actually an English teacher, and she teaches expat Hungarians all over the world to speak the language, like from Canada to fucking anyway, all over the world. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, so she doesn't have the time to mess with epoxy. She just comes down a few times with her Pinterest ideas and giving me some clue on things. For it still being flexible, yes, it could be being used in that area, but I made a simple pen phone holder years ago and it's still bendable. Yeah, I think it could, because I don't know if you remember, but I just eyeballed it, the ratio. So could be that, could be the. I bet it's more like me eyeballing the ratio. Temu says cheap molds like those soap dishes. I know. The thing with me and Temu is I will not download Temu on my phone because I use this as a company phone for my video production slash 3D animation work as well, and I work under NDA. And Temu needs permission to access everything on my phone, including all the data and every single file. So I cannot do that. It's just no. Also, this laptop contains a lot of NDA materials, which are basically I'm not supposed to do, and therefore I don't want to use Steam. I know I could use Wish or eBay because they're selling on that too, and also they're selling on Amazon. I just didn't get in there at the moment because I just have so many things to do, guys. like so many things I need to make a video of, and we had this crunch time here to get the shop, find the shop, get it. I didn't even tell you guys, you weren't here. So basically, this weekend I had to. Yeah, Timo is like. Hey, sorry, my dog saw a bird. Anyway, puppy's always lying down at the door, and he is just hanging out with me. And sometimes he just explodes and runs off to scare off a crow or something. So yeah, Timo is just like popped out of nowhere, and they pumped millions into YouTube marketing and influencer marketing. I tried learning Japanese. Ended up trying to pay my ex-fiance's mother, and ended up insulting her. Shit, that's bad. Put a PO box address, and I will be happy to send you molds that could help you out if you ever change your mind. Thanks, Beacon. You're sweet. Now, let me tell you a little story about the post system here. So, on this island, and most of rural Greece has a post nightmare. We have about 15 or 20,000 people living on this island, and we have one post office for this island and the surrounding islands. And in that post office, we have three people working: the post manager, the lady who is doing the clerk thing, and the postman. And the funniest thing is, when we moved here, I was basically addicted to Amazon. So I was, yeah, I had Amazon packages turning up at my house all the time before in England. And when we moved here, we rented a house without a house number, and we lived on a street which had no street name. And we had to go inside the post office every time we wanted to get our mail, but the postman didn't know who were we, so we actually had to go inside the sorting area of the post office, and we had to sort out the letters to get ours. And there are only a few PO boxes on the island, and they are all sold for people who've been living here for the last 100 years and shit. But there are no house numbers, no postmans, no PO boxes. There's just one building, so that's a whole different thing. If I have a delivery coming, we have a company who does the delivery on the island, and they literally know my number and they know my name because I've been here for 3 years, and they call me that, hey Bela, you got the package. It's a small package or it's a big package. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming down tomorrow or day after tomorrow to collect it. And I go down with either my motorbike or my car, and I pick it up and I bring it home because nobody delivers it out. It just arrives at the port and you sort it out yourself. So PO box could be a good idea. Don't know how it's possible, but I don't know, maybe we'll figure it out, I guess. Give me permission to Timo on the dummy phone. You have the problem solved. No. I would, but I am at the point that I can't be asked to go on to solve. I have like 3 or 4 old phones. I can't fix this. Okay, I just don't want to be honest, because it's just more hustle than profit at this point, because I don't really make a lot of silicone mold stuff, and I have my epoxy sorted, I have my coloring sorted, I have my tools and hardware sorted, so I have my sources already. And if I need to buy a mold, which I don't have, then I can always go on eBay or Amazon or whatever. There's always a way around it, so I don't go deep into just because. And the other thing is, if I get the Temu account, it is so invasive on fear of missing out. I don't know if you guys familiar with the term, but there's always this countdown for the discount, and it's always resetting. But you have always you have to make sure you buy the thing now before you miss out on it. And nah, it's too much. It's too much of the capitalist world. It's and I'm a sucker for it. That's the first thing. So I know myself. I'm a sucker for Chinese. Temu has a very cheap prices, but most of their molds are badly manufactured, and Temu shipping pra- parcels cost more. Yeah, it could. That could be too. It depends. My partner used to live in Cyprus, and their postal service was crazy. My mother. Oh, I'm sorry for him, but yeah. So postal service is just it's a whole thing. Yeah, I mean, there's just only so many things you can make at the same time. Like I have a bunch of molds for a bunch of things, but I just I just for me it's different because every morning I have to have my coffee, and once the caffeine kicks in, my brain goes turned up to 11, and I look at something in a shop, and then I immediately have a project to make. And it is very rare that I have to look for a silicone mold because I always try to work with a little bit of wood or just something. And yeah, but the like most of you guys do resin art. You do the mold and you do the art, and you do the drips, and you paint the mold with the mica and stuff. I don't have the patience for that, and I'm not really good with fine details. I know myself. For me, it's more about working, trying to solve problems of a project and actually painting colors in and do art, the art part itself. I mean, you can get molds from Amazon, eBay, Wish. Uh, where can I find molds? Places where I can find them. So you can get them from these shops. You can actually make molds. There was one guy, or no, there were several guys told me on my rent video that actually if you get a silicone gun, with the silicone tube in it, you get a sheet of acrylic or a sheet of plastic, and you make some pattern on it, and you let it cure. There is your mold. So you can actually make molds that way with the silicone gun thing. See you, Linus. Thanks for coming by. Thank you, Beacon. I try. I mean, yeah, it depends, and also, there are these jewelry molds and all that. I don't make jewelry because that's not really my style. I mean, I could try, just for shits and giggles. Mm, I got this fast drying that epoxy now, that jewel casting, jewel casting epoxy, because I realized that I used the wrong epoxy for my ocean wave art. Because none of the tutorials tell you that you need to use actually a fast drying, a fast curing epoxy, and I used the 1 inch epoxy, the medium drying. So it's between the deep pour and the jewel crusting, and I used that for my ocean wave art. And I was wondering why is it running and why I have to wait like an hour before I do a pour or something. So now I have the good resin for that, and I'm gonna play with that. What the fuck is plastic candy buckets? Like the celebrations box, the round thing, the Halloween candy thing. You're from him, as far as I remember. Hey, Mary! Stories from the frontier. Yes, sir. Uh, I just finished talking about it, but yeah, but we can go over it again. So, food dyes are a very good way to color wood, and food dyes are a very good way to color epoxy. Do I have anything I made with food dye? I don't have it here. I don't have anything here made with food dye and epoxy, but yeah, it is possible. What I'm saying. Oh, that's here. Here I am. Yeah. Hey, yo. Right. So, yeah. Any fun projects you guys done this week? What you guys been up to? Because I've been sweating my ass off in here, but apart from trying to survive this world, what was your escape this week? Let me know. I'm curious. So cool to hang out here. So much fun. Bye bye. Yo, Bernice. Hey. Woodland Creature series? That sounds interesting. You're gonna have a video of it? Greece is a beautiful place to live in. I've been looking after my sick son. He suffers from autism. Sorry to hear that, but he doesn't suffer from autism. Autism is a superpower. My brother, my brother lives in an institute where people live with either mental disabilities or actual physical brain damage disabilities, or somehow handicapped in that way. I don't know how to say it in English. And there are a lot of autistic people living there. It's in Hungary, so it's different kind of life. But I met and I hang out with a few autistic kids when I was a kid in there, and they're fucking amazing. How their brain works is just, it's a miracle. Oh, Bernie's doing all right. Finally can hang out and just chill in Sunday night. All right, he's suffering from the flu. That fucking sucks, dude. Ew. Oh my god. I had COVID this year. Had I? No, it was last year. Every Christmas I get COVID, and I had influenza in November, so I got all the sicknesses taken off for the year. Yeah, survival mode. Hey, Anubis. Shalom. Doing all right? How are you doing? 6 adult kids, 3 on the spectrum. I hear you. That's a lot of kids. Oh my god. Imagine the birthday parties. Oh, to keep track of everything. Oh my god, that's a lot of family celebrations. I have 3 up so far. Another will be up later today. Another one to be finished for Tuesday. Finishing off 2 more before the end of this week. Nice. So at the end of the week, I can binge watch it. Can't wait. Do you all know it's extremely hot outside today? Well, maybe in the swamps, but here it was overcast all day, and I wanted to do some glam shots of my luxury cutting board, and I just couldn't get it done. What is a kalimba? Let me Google that quick. Uh, Overcast was actually no, I'm not bored, dude. I had a long day, long weekend. Okay, what is the kalimba? Kalimba. Ooh, that's so cool. That sounds so relaxing. Oh, that's a very nice instrument. Uh, Thanks for the playlist, Marcy. Uh, Let me know when it's out and I go hit it. And where are we? All right, Fire Girl, thanks for coming by and thanks for helping me setting up this stream. I'll see you soon. What I wanted to ask you guys, how do you say your, how do you give greetings for Memorial Day for if you have a friend in the United States? Because as far as I know, Memorial Day is a somber day to remember the dead, remember the soldiers who died in conflicts and wars. I wonder today, like, how do you say? You don't say Happy Memorial Day. You say, I don't know. How do you go about that? Hey, Amy. 95 in the swamp. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's in freedom units. Okay. Okay, so you don't say anything in Memorial Day greetings. That's interesting. Because it's like somber day, you know. Because we have our own in Hungary. We actually have several in the great for like dates of revolutions and memorial days. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like it's interesting because we don't say Happy October 6th or something. We don't say that. Yeah, we just go out to the graves of the family members too. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Thank you. It's always good to learn how other cultures treat their summer and reverend, but people use it for partying instead. And the last 2 3 generations don't know the purpose of it anymore. I mean, Marcy, they are not related closely to people who served in the world wars. Probably that's why. Cannabis. I'm losing it. I'm balding here and I'm balding here. So okay. Now I know how to go about Memorial Day. It's hard. Sorry about that, Mary. Oh, it's not taught about in the schools. That sucks. It's interesting to see because war, like 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 war is more of a family thing for me because in Hungary everybody is has to do military service when they're young, when they turn 18, and it's a common thing in Europe. When you turn 18, you go in. Some countries do a year, some countries do 2 years, some countries do 6 months, but you have to do the basic training. And and so we usually do the basic training and we go home, but we can be called in anytime, unless we are disabled or otherwise. Holy shit. Marine for years. Damn, that's hardcore. Yeah, dude. Wow. Salute to all of you and all of your relatives who was in the armed service and try to keep peace on the on land, or how do you say that? It's a foreign subject for us because these days we have uh, we have like special units serving in Afghanistan and in the war zones of the world, but they are like specialist units. So they're not like we have an army and we send like 2,000 soldiers that way and we send the well, Hungarians don't have a navy, but you know we send our airborne squads this way, or you know this and that. We have specialist squads who are part of the Hungarian military or the military, and they are serving in different areas. But it's you know we don't have the biggest army. No, I'm not saying still in Afghanistan. I actually have a friend who was a chief of security in a place I worked, and he served 15 years total in Afghanistan in the last so since 89 till 2015. Uh, but they go on missions like that. But we don't have that many soldiers on ground, so this is not really a common thing. What we do on Memorial Day, we go out to our family members who fought against the Soviets in the revolutions, or fought against the Nazis, or served in the First and Second World War. But we had our own revolutions and own internal military issues, civil wars and shit. 50 to 70 years ago now. So that happened, and we go on the memorials and those, you know, but it's not this close. Like it's not this close to our life as it's close to yours. So it is very interesting for me to see that this is actually. I'm sorry, guys. I have to pick this up. I'll be back. I'm back. Sorry about. So I just got a call from the owner of the place I'm trying to rent, the landlord. Okay, let me just catch up on the chat. Dun, 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 dun. Holy shit. Okay. True. True. I agree with you, Amy. It's so cool that you guys respect each other and respect the people who are working for our safety and peace all over the world. It's pretty neat. I wish there were no need for it. No. Anyway, I just got a call from the landlord, apparently, at 8 p.m. on Sunday. And he just told me that I need to figure out a way to get electricity sorted in the shop because I need to get a contract for the electricity and everything. I need to deal with the electric company in Greece, in Greek. That's gonna be a fun challenge for the next week. I believe everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we just don't know what it is, which can be annoying. I'll back to that. Or should I get a new one? Yeah, I don't speak Greek. I barely speak any. I don't speak enough Greek to go to the electrical company and get somebody to actually turn on the electricity and start the contract and everything. So I need to speak with my Greek friend who can sort this out for me. Yay, I guess. Yeah, that's a challenge I need to deal with. Probably Google. No, actually, I have a friend here on the island. We surf together because no, Latin is from Greek, darling. Uh, Latin developed from Greek language, the Anubis. So I have a friend because I'm part of the civil protection Vagina. So if any catastrophe hits or fires or anything ever happens, we are the first emergency response team. And I have a friend who I'm working together in this team, and he is actually a accountant, notary, legal guy. So he can help me out with that. Circle of Death. Did you guys lose me again? I'm here. I'm here. I'm trying. We're gonna wait. It's gonna come back eventually. Good. You can see me. That's great. Yeah. So opening the shop is much more challenging. Yeah, sorry about that. I can't really do anything with it. It is what it is. If I stop it right now, it's only gonna get worse. So we have to deal with this, and it might comes back. You know, we have to take it as it goes at this point. But yeah, it's not you, it's me. Just wait a little. It's gonna work out. I promise. I can change. Good morning, Z. How's life, man? Mm. Ah. Oh, there you go. It's working. Is it that hot? Where are you at? Oh, come the fuck on, Mary. I'm not dumping you. AZ, is that Arizona? Or Zealand? Azerbaijan? No, Arizona. Good. I know my I know my geography and shit. Arizona is a desert, right? I'm not trying to be ignorant, but you guys have 50 states, and I can't know all of them. You see, I'm very smart. There's a big desert in Arizona, the speed race. Yeah, come on, man. I'm an educated guy. Valley of the Sun. Okay, what is 83 in human numbers? 83. What is it? Fahrenheit. 28 degrees. That's not too bad. I have 28 degrees in shadow today, darling. Puppies. Hey, Pecan. Thanks for coming by. Okay, that's not fun. 110, 118, and I assume it's dry heat. Middle of Wyoming. Wyoming forests, Wyoming nature, wildlife, something. That's all I can attach to it. Wyoming. If I have to point at Wyoming on the map, it's probably northwest. Yeah, northwest of the United States. Something. Right for the most part. Yeah. At least it's not black. Oh. Look what I got. It's a canvas. It's a big canvas. Easy. Bye. So this is going to be a project, and on the back it has a wood, and I can stretch it out even further, but it has apparently it has gesso on it, triple layer gesso, and I learned from you, Mary, that I have to fix that somehow because gesso will give me problems. I'm sorry, my dog was acting up. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it though. It's either going to be a spray paint art, or I'm gonna try to do that thing, but bigger. Yay, I'm back. Yeah, so I am going to try to do either spray paint or do that thing, that ocean wave thingy. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, but I got this for like $5. It's gonna be an interesting project to do, and I wonder how it's gonna work. And I also got these ones. These are little round frames, and they are very professionally framed, as you can see. Okay. Use spray varnish on it. You're going to use it for resin project. Good, I have that. Thank you. I'm not sure. It's probably gonna be too heavy for the canvas. That's my only worry, because that thing is gonna take up a lot of sand, and I'm not sure, guys. But it's like a real wood frame, that one. I mean, we'll see. We're gonna do an experiment. You know me. You know me. We're gonna hit it with something. Also, I'm gonna get these. I have these round ones, and they are pure cotton, solid wood, which is bullshit because this is purely. You can clearly see it's MDF. This is not solid wood. Jesus. Or solid wood construction. Solid wood construction. Shut up. Triple acrylic gesso press. So this has to get some varnish on it too before I hit it. Yeah, so this is gonna be fun. I'm doing a clock today that resembles wood bark. That's interesting. You're using, so you're painting it to look like wood bark, or are you actually using wood bark in it? I tried epoxy on canvas before. I knew it would not stick correctly, so I had an overstretched canvas with blank spots. Oh, yeah. Marcy just said you should use varnish before you put on it, because gesso repels. So the thing they put on a canvas that repels epoxy. I had that problem too with mine though. But then Marcy told me to do the varnish. So from now on, everything is going to be varnished before I'm going to hit it. Minus 50 Fahrenheit. What the fuck? Minus 50 Fahrenheit to Celsius. What is that? Minus 20. Holy cap! That's like the coldest you can get in Hungary. Shit. That's not fun. Yo, minus 20 is. I know. When I was a kid, we used to have the coldest days of winter in January, minus 80, minus 25. So it's like minus 40 Fahrenheit to minus, I don't know, 60 Fahrenheit in between. Dude, that was just your eyes got frozen. If you are using resin, always also remember to support the underside so the weight doesn't bow the canvas. Yes, ma'am. I remember that. I will remember that. It's gonna be a challenge. Hold on, I need to check on my dog. Bye. Sorry about that, but because I have a grassy garden and everything is dry now, when my pups run around, there are these little arrow-shaped grass seeds that pierce their paws, and if I don't remove it, it goes inside their skin and it makes a mess in there. And when one of my pups is just chewing his leg, or he's very nervous and agitated, and I have to check his fur because he has very tough fur. That if there is a grass seed in there before it gets actually inside the skin, so sometimes I have to just jump up and check because, yeah, rather just check on the false alarm than I have to go to the vet. Yeah, support the underside. How would you support? Tell the Greek authorities to fix your internet connection. My man, I would. I was of several canvases before. I didn't have this knowledge. Sorry about the ads. I don't know how to edit them out. It's just on. So how do you support it? I wonder that too, because I have to lift up the piece and I have to lift it up by the rims. Ben je hater? Nee. Ben je hater? So I have to lift up the piece and then I have to support it from the edges, and then I have to make sure this one doesn't sink in. Marcy, you are like the oracle. If I have a question, I come to you. Seriously. Like, you know more than I will ever do. So my idea would be to, if I have a piece of wood like this, right? Okay, I'm gonna hit this. Mouse goes somewhere else for now. Phone goes somewhere else for now. So if I'm gonna support it with this piece of wood, this has a given thickness. So I will cut it up and support it from here and here. And I would put it here in the center again. And I would layer some cardboard or paper under it. So here I would put some cardboard or paper in the center to reach the thickness of the canvas. Yeah, if it's, yeah, that's what I would. I use cardboard sheets in layers until it meets the canvas underneath. There you go. Great minds think alike. Okay, so that it has to support it all around. Okay, that's smart. What if I cut out a single piece of cardboard in the shape of the inside, and I put it here, and I support it with smaller bits and bobs from underneath. That will work as a tray, in theory, so I don't have to use that many cardboard sheets for it. It's an interesting thing to ponder. I mean, it's always like try on error. Sand. I hate sand. It goes in everywhere. uh, yeah, Anubis, I have problems with leveling too. You see this here? This is a 25 millimeter thick MDF sheet, and I put this on a storage unit base, and this is the furthest thing from level. And I use, because it's a very, very rigid, thick MDF sheet, I use popsicles in the corners to level it out until my spirit level actually levels out in the center. But there is a little play in it always, and I can always add some more popsicles into the corners to, adjust the corner to it. But I can recommend you to use a MDF sheet on whatever surface you're working on, if you don't have an actual workbench, like a proper woodworker's workbench. I can't fit one in here, so this is what I'm doing. Okay, just make sure it doesn't push the canvas upwards. Okay, that makes sense. Is it possible or more plausible to make your own canvas over a solid piece of wood? I think it's possible because, as far as I can see, this is just a ring of MDF. This is just a canvas sheet, and they literally just fucking stapled it over until it became flat. So actually, Marcy, if you could make a video on that, that would be great. On how you do yours. I'm down. That would be great. Yeah, that would be great help. And whenever I do the next piece, remind me to plug your channel so that people can go and watch how you set it up. We have to share our knowledge because the big boys are beating us, and we have valuable data for each other. Give me a second. All right. I'm back. Bye, Mary. Thanks for coming by. He says, not that I'm Bob Ross or anything, but I think making your own canvas over a solid piece would actually work. In that case, I propose this question. Why would we use a canvas anyway? Because at that point, we can just prime the wood, MDF is best to use with painting. The other types of pressed wood tend to warp in moist areas or with moist with moist products. And stretching the canvas over wood is good. Oh my god, you got the evil stare. Anyway, thanks for coming by, Anubis. But yeah, MDF is good, and I used to build MDF furniture back in the day. I didn't build it. I used to help out building it, and MDF is, if you prime it well, if you use a very good primer on it, acrylic primer, and you use like 2 or 3 coats, and you sand it down with the 120 grit, you're gonna get a pretty much waterproof MDF sheet. Use canvas depend on the medium you intend to use on it. Yeah, and make sure when you send it, so you send in between the coats, because MDF furs up, so the furs are sticking out, so you have to get rid of that. I used to use double coat acrylic primer on it, and then I hit it with acrylic paint to cover it, and that basically seals it pretty much. Using a canvas depends on the medium you intend to use on it. I mean, yeah, yeah. But if you seal the canvas, hmm. I mean, if you seal the canvas, that should do the trick, right? Like as you said with the varnish, that should solve it. I don't know what to do with this big canvas though. Yeah, I know it's bad, but you have to die of something. And in Eastern Europe, we don't believe in that shit. Cigs are part of our life. I collect cigars and I smoke them too. You can use fabrics like jeans for canvases. Well, I don't have. I have the cheap T-shirts. But yeah, I do collect cigars. I got into the habit of one time I started watching cigar videos and how they are made, and then I bought a humidor. Then one thing led to another, and I started collecting cigars. I don't have a lot, but I have very unique and interesting cigars in my little collection. I have like 20 to 40 sticks in my humidor all the time. But like smoking cigars, I need 2 hours at least in peace with a drink to enjoy a stogie. And I don't have that kind of time anymore. And I used to smoke in my office back in England because I was able to like close it off from the house and no one can smell it, and open the windows and everything. But in England, it was either raining or king cold to smoke outside. And nowadays, man, I don't have 2 hours to sit my ass down and just enjoy a cigar, because there's always something. When the wife sees me sitting down, that means I am ready for another redecoration of the living room. You know what it is. But yeah, I have them, and I'm waiting for the good day when I retire and I can smoke my stogies in peace, sitting on my fishing boat. Yeah, yeah. Cigars is also cheap here, so I mean, relatively cheap. Jesus, canvas. I mean, technically, I mean, technically, it should work, right? Structurally. I smoked 50 years. My family also smoked. I am the one that ended up with emphysema. I still smoke. I'm not getting out of this world alive, so might as well do things I am. Yeah, you do you, man. RC. No one can tell you how to live your life, and the reaper will come for all of us eventually. You know. So, I mean, I I don't smoke that much. I used to smoke. Okay, so when I was in my early 20s or late teens, I used to work as a bartender, and I used to work in the service industry. The low grade jobs, and smoking was basically the only escape we had. And back in the day when I was doing it, you could smoke in restaurants, you could smoke in the pubs or clubs. It was allowed in Eastern Europe. It was before the EU change came. And I always had a cigarette in my hand or in my mouth when I was making drinks. And I smoked about 2 packs a night. And that was my habit. But at daytime, I didn't smoke because I was sleeping. And nowadays, when the sun goes down, I have the urge, but it's like I have this need to have a cigarette. And if I don't have a cigarette when it gets dark, I literally go crazy for it with the cravings and everything. And I literally have to go out to the kiosk and buy a pack of cigarettes, even if it's like 10, 11 p.m. But before sunset, I just can't light up a cigarette, man. I just hate the smell of it. I can't stand it. I just can't be around cigarette at daytime. But when the sun goes down, it's like I'm turning into Mr. Hyde and two cigarette. I need it. I can't live without it. It's weird, but I think it's like this. I wouldn't call it addiction because if I would be nicotine addicted, I would want to have a cigarette all the time. It's more like a psychological addiction of of sunsets equals light up a cigarette. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway. All right. See you, Annabis. Thanks for coming by, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ah, this is so much fun. This is so relaxing. Mm. I have about another half an hour to go before I need to feed the pups. Any questions? Uh, I don't know what I'm going to do next week, though. I need to sort out this shop. Gonna be some 63, so maybe 10 years left for me. All of the women in my family have lived between 70 and 91, but the ones that lived past 70 were countryside living. I mean, it's your will to live, you know. So if you, in my opinion, if you still have something to do, and if you have still the willpower to go on and do things, if you're busy, if there is a saying in Hungary that I'm too busy for dying. I don't have the time to die. So yeah, you go as long as you want to. I don't know what to do next week, to be honest, because I have to sort out this shop front, and I need to deal with this sleazy landlord. And I looked for other options, but every other option is just way out of my budget, basically, and the location is not as good. So I have to I have to bite the bullet and go with the sleazy landlord and sort out the electricity and repaint the shop and all that. I might gonna do a video on that, like a walk around in the shop and see what needs to be done in there. That's something I will probably do when I get to it. But here, bureaucracy is just way too fucking slow. So that's one thing I could do. Um, the video of Hey Kezia, thanks for popping by. So I made this beauty today and yesterday. This is a mahogany slab, which I cut to size. It's a simple project, okay? So I cut it to size and sanded it nicely, and I carved out. There was a bit of rot here, so I carved it out, and I sanded it. No, fuck. I carved it out, and I used dual dual casting epoxy on it, and I sanded the whole thing with 400 grit, and the light doesn't give it back, and the camera doesn't do it justice. But it came out really neat, and I also used my router to make this angle on it, and it was very scary because it's a very powerful tool, and I'm very scared of it. And then I stamped it with my fancy Agena craft from Agena with love, and we have little olive leaves around it. And I put some feet on it, and I oiled it. And this was basically the project I was working on over the weekend. And yeah, and this video is coming. This is called Nyangon Mahogany. It's called Nyangon wood, and it's coming from Africa or East Asia. And it's a part of mahogany family. And the good thing is that the guy I'm getting my wood from, the timber yard guy, doesn't believe me when I tell him this is mahogany. So I get this wood cheaper than oak. So this is a very good project for me. I think I'm gonna sell it for like 200 euros a pop. It's heavy. It's like I have an ad. Let me get a measurement on this. 3.5 kilos, or 7 pounds. 7 pounds. It's 7 pounds heavy. So yeah, it's a big boy. This video is coming next week. My grandmother's will lived to cause her to live through 4 major strokes. In the 5th one that took her out. I have my grandmother's tendency. Good, because my father-in-law had a stroke and they spliced a new vein into his heart 2 months ago, and they cut one of his legs off. But he's still going strong at 72. There are 2 kinds of oaks, or there are several different kinds of oak you can use, and it's like white oak, red oak, dark oak, different kinds. So look out for different kinds of oaks, and oak is very good to tint with different colors. And the longer you leave it out, the darker the shade it gets. So that's something cool. Yes, that's pretty much one of the projects I want to do. I am not sure what else, because yeah, this shop thing is really up on my ass, and I am I'm I have this gut feeling, to be honest with you guys. I have this gut feeling that this landlord will try to take advantage of us somehow. Lucky enough, my soon-to-be ex works in our local lumber company. Good, good contacts. So yeah, I don't know, man. My gut feeling says I shouldn't take this shop. I shouldn't rent it because of the landlord, but I don't have other options. The thing is that every other shop is either rented or or I just don't have the money to put down for deposits and rents and everything. Uh, so yeah. Oh, it's just it's a small village, and it's hard to get the shop front. The whole street has like you can walk from one end of the main street to the other end in 15 minutes. Okay, it's a tiny village. But yeah, if I don't do it now, I will miss this season, and this is the tourist season to actually make enough money to survive in the winter. So I have to take the chance, but it scares me shitless. I'm just so afraid of messing it up. No, that's the thing, Marcy. It's not that putting down the deposit costs a lot and then pay the rent for the first month. The problem is that if I rent the place has to make enough money to pay for itself, and it has to make enough money to to pay for the winter months. Because basically here, like let's take an example. If I rent a shop for $700 a month, okay, I can put down 700 bucks. I can put down 2 months deposit, no problem. The problem is that I need to start making minimum 700 bucks from the first month, plus enough money to put aside for the winter months, so I can pay the rent in the winter months when I have no income. Plus, I have to make enough to survive. So I basically need to make about 1,500 euros selling epoxy art and souvenirs and gifts. 25, 50 bucks a pop. Which is possible. That's the thing. It is possible to do, but there is a solid chance that it's not gonna work out. You know. Yeah, I used to have this too. I could run my business from home to do video editing. I used to make animations and all that, but not anymore. You know. And freelancing is just not something I can do anymore because East Asia is coming up really hard, and there are very very skilled artists and 3D artists in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, who can do the exact same quality work I do, but for the fraction of the price. So because of globalization and the global connections, that is also out of the saturated. The market is saturated for that. So this is this is the way forward, and I have to take the plunge. You know, our tourism here has dropped severely over the last 5 years, and our tourism is booming. Like in south of Europe, there is Spain, Italy, Croatia, Greece, and Turkey, which is attached to the same sea. Don't know how you call it in English. And when people come to one country, they spend like most of the people go to Spain. The prices of the holidays go up in Spain. Then they go to Italy, and the prices go up in Italy. Then they go to Croatia, and the price goes up in Croatia. Then they go to Greece, and the price goes up in Greece, and so on. And this circle continues in 20. It's a 20-year circle. And now we are in Greece, and people started to come here. So yeah, that's one thing that actually is good now. It's good here. Uh, it's just it's just I'm just scared, to be honest. I'm just scared of being taken advantage on, because I heard stories from other people who rented that place, and they said you should be careful with this owner and all that because he wants to raise the rent every year and da 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 da. And gossip goes around in a small village very fast. So yeah, yeah, kind of. I don't know. I just need. I don't know what I need. That's the thing. Like, I need to stop worrying about it and just do it. Just get it done. Just go and do everything in my power to make it work. And that's probably what I will do. I'm just rambling here about it, but that is probably what I will do. I will just suck it up and I will just get it done because I have friends here. I have people who support me here. I have people who actually know their stuff, and they are very, very educated on accounting and lawyer stuff and the legal stuff. I'm friend with the police here, so yeah, that's. You live in a town around 5,000 people. Right. My town is kind of similar sized, like four, something around there, 5,000 people. Um, and everybody knows everybody because this is like a deep rooted town, like hundreds of years of generations living here through the ages. But yeah, that's pretty much next week's challenge. And I will make a video each day. I don't know what about. It's the things I wanted to do. I really wanted to get out of my system are out. I done the how to choose epoxy. I done the how to choose dyes and what is a dye. How to do. I did a little video on business. Uh, I'm gonna put this board out. Um, if I have a problem, like when I don't know what to do, I just come in the shop and I start cleaning up. I start putting things away, and tidying everything. And something just grabs my attention, and I start to put things one and one together, and I have something. I have one more. Do you have? Uh, yes. I don't have to do electrical repairs. I need to I need to go to the electrical company and get an account to get an account on my name to pay for electricity or something. So it doesn't come on the landlord's name; it comes on the tenant's name apparently, because in case I don't pay the electric bill, that it's my responsibility and not the landlord's. I'm telling you, this landlord makes sure that he is secured and he can't fail on anything, and he don't have to check the little shit, but taking the money. So yeah, but I have to I have to play by his rules if I wanna open the shop. You know, what is the deposit for getting the electricity on? I don't even know that. I didn't even know I have to pay deposit for that. It's probably some fees, but I never done it in my life. Like the place I'm renting right now, The owners pay for the electricity. It's but I pay for the electricity, but it's under the owner's name. They send me a text message every month, like, "Hey, bro, this is your bill. This is how much was it," and I send it with the next month's rent. But yeah, this is gonna be a whole the whole. It's a whole thing. Uh, it's not impossible. It's just another thing I didn't expect to do, and I have to do before I can actually have the place. And then I have to like furnish the place. Then I have to paint the place, and my wife is working on the opening, so it's gonna be like an opening event for locals and artists and everything. They can come and hang out and have a look at it and have a look at my art. So yeah, it's all coming together. Really, it's just there is always something else I have to deal with, and yeah, that's life. But if it comes together and if it works out, dude, for the new accounts here, they make you pay a deposit. I don't know. For the internet, I know you don't have to. So for telephone and internet bill, you don't have to pay a deposit for. I mean, if I have to pay a deposit, I have credit cards. I can tank everything. Uh, so that's probably what I'm gonna do. Like I'm all right, but it's the bureaucracy part is the hard because here in Greece they run everything on paper still, and because they run everything on paper, like getting things done and sorted, and everything takes about 5 to 20 working days before the thing actually commences. That's actually a good idea to price everything right. Yeah, I mean, I price everything very affordable because I just wanna just stabilize the income. Like I have these ocean wave trays. Let me get one. So basically, this ocean wave tray, the tray itself is from China, and I buy it myself for $3 to $4 a piece, and I use about this much epoxy on it, which is about a fraction. It's not even $1. The epoxy I'm using on it, and the working time, like the actual production time on it, I have to sand the edges, sand the top, sand the back, oil it, done. And I charge 25 euros, so it's like $20 a piece for these, and I sell it only locally. Marcy, send me an email before you order anything from the shop because it's pretty outdated, and just let me know what you would like, and I'll make one for you, like specifically for you. I need to update shit on that web shop because I gave away and sold most of all those stuff. But yeah, if you fancy something, let me know and I make it for you. Just keep life simple. Uh, what else? Yeah. So I sell it for 25 a pop, and it's still cheaper than the souvenirs they buy here. I did a market research, so I went around the people here on the island, and I think, yeah, it's eggycraft@gmail.com. Very simple. Um, so what I've done, I went around the island and I showed it to people, and I said, "How much you would pay for this? How much would you pay for this? How much would you pay for this?" And it came out to be, some people wanted to pay 50, some people wanted to pay 20, and the median was about 20, 25 bucks. So I make 20 bucks on every piece. And I only sell it locally, and I only sell it for tourists or people who come here on the island. So this would be the main thing I'm selling. I make little coasters as well, coaster sets. I'm making it out of those pieces of wood, and I make a long strip and I chop it up. And those are gonna go for like 20 bucks a pop, like a set. But that involves a little bit more labor. Thing is, if it sells, if it will sell, it will sell out fast. But and I need to keep on producing this stuff as well. So how it's gonna be like, I wake up at 7 in the morning, start producing the shit in bulk, go down to the shop, be a shop attendant. Probably we're gonna do videos there and live streams and everything there, and come back at night and finish up the product. And next day I can just carry it down. I don't know where I have my email address written, but yeah, it's egginacraft@gmail.com. Would you take a custom color coaster and tray set order? Darling, send me an email, we sort it out. Whatever you want. It's fine. You are my biggest supporter. I just take it easy. Send me an email and we go from there. Yeah, so that's be. I was thinking of making jewelry, but there are so many jewelry shops and stores on the island. It would just get lost in those thousands upon thousands of stuff. This is unique. This is one of a kind. This is something I would do, and I would make money doing it. Yeah, it's just, and I'm only stressing about it because I haven't started yet. Once I get the shop, sign the contract, it will be easier because there is no turning back. You know, but this is the last step before opening a shop, and this is the most stressful point of the procedure or the process. I don't know, man. It it's never easy, especially when this is my main gig now, like making epoxy art. This is what keeps us afloat. This is what have to pay the rent. This is because I was the bread maker in the family until now. My money was the main income in the family, and we never expected it to go away like this. So I never saved up. Yeah, I agree with you. That is the like jewelry making is a saturated market. Is really hard to get in, and sell it. But yeah, I never expected it to lose the family's main income. So this is a do or die moment, and I will. There's two ways I can go about this. I can go back to England and restart my painting and decorating business, or I can stay around here and do this epoxy thing. And by the responses I get from people on YouTube, it's not half ass. It's not half bad because all my friends here on the island say it's nice and they love it and everything, but they are friends. You know how they are. Have you thought about adding tumblers to your variety? I see that this is a big thing in the States right now. I have never thought about it. I just saw it last week. To be honest with you, I didn't even know these things exist. It doesn't exist here, but I want to keep it with wood. I wanna make things with wood, and epoxy. That would be the main flow of things. I want to get wood involved in the process. I try to do epoxy. You remember the fruit bowl I made and all that jazz? It takes it's yeah it's a good idea. It's always something else to add. But now I want to focus on. I don't. Okay, so let me just back up a little. Um, there's only so many things I can make at one time because I basically have this table and this table to work on, and this is all my space. And because epoxy takes time to cure, if I make something on this table and I make something on that table, there's no more space. So I have to decide what I use the spaces for, because I can't do epoxy in the shop. If you try it in tumblers, just remember not to get resin too close where the mouth touch. Yeah, I saw that they tape it out. So yeah, it is possible to add it to the process. It's just I have to work with the space what I have, and because this is an island, it's basically a holiday resort. People come here to enjoy the beach, enjoy the restaurants, and the Mamma Mia lifestyle. Uh, it's more authentic if I make the ocean wave stuff, and if I make these. No, I don't have a cure mat or curing box or anything like that. I can turn one room into a curing area in my house, but it's also a whole different can of worms. I'm not sure if I'm ready to fuck with that. Also, like as I said, I need to figure out what sells first. And I have now like 5 or 6 different coaster sets, which I can produce in bulk. I have this. Where is it? Where is it? God, I lost. No, I have it here. So this is basically this turtle is what was on the coin of Egina 4,000 years ago, and this is the centerpiece of the flag of the island. And in the print shop down the street, they laser etch it onto these pieces of wood. And what I decided to do is I get them to make me as much as they can. And in the craft shop, I can buy a little magnet I can put on the bottom of it, and I have a fridge magnet. And I use some leather dye to color it, sand it, whatever. And I have a fridge magnet, and the making cost of this is about $2. With a little dye, I can fancy it up, put the magnet on the butt, and I can sell this for 5 to 10 euros per piece. Yeah, I agree with you. Like it has to be ocean related or something to do with ocean. So this will also sell. I'm sure of it. When I figured out how to do the ocean tray, I can actually produce one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can produce 12 of these at the same time. I made a little bench from 2x4s, and I leveled it out so I can pour these on it and leave it at that. Also, colors related to the island and religion. Oh my God, tell me about it. Like here in Egina in Greece, everybody is Orthodox Catholic, and and they are very very religious. I am a Roman Catholic, and I went to church all my boyhood, and I participated in the liturgy, and so everybody here is religious, and they make Greek icons of the saints and everything, but I don't think that would be a how do I put this? It would be. It's not heresy, but it's not authentic. If I make Christian memorabilia and sell it for money, usually the monks do it here, and the church, and they make it, hand make it, and the or region, not religion. And I've been on religion for fucking 15 minutes, darling. I have bad eyesight, and I read religion instead of region. Anyway, and you let me go on and on and on about religion. Come on, Marcy, give me a break. Yeah, thanks for the latency. You're probably laughing your ass off. Yeah, it will work. It will work. You just need to. Hey, Gina, welcome. You're a Catholic. Yeah, I'm a Roman Catholic too. And yeah, I mean this will work. It's just have to. Actually, I'm all right. I mean, opening the shop will be fine. I have a lawyer on the island. I know everybody on the island. I will probably be safe, even if my landlords try to do some weird shit. I just need to start it. I need to man up, suck it up, and get it moving. Yeah, so religion stuff is not frowned upon per se. Religion stuff is made by the priests and the priesthood of the Orthodox Church, and that's how they support themselves. So you don't buy it; you give donations to the church, and you remember the story when the peddlers were in the church and trying to sell their wares for the churchgoers, and Jesus fucking beat them to shreds. That's a lesson in there. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take a deep breath and dive in. Yeah, I just have to do it. It just feels good to talk about it with you, because yeah, I have to like get it out of the system and get it going. It's a totally new thing. I never done this before, and I do this like every 2 or 3 years. I start something new I never done before, but I always had a plan B. I always had a plan B, and right now there is no plan B. It's have to work. This have to work. I have to make it go right, and I have to course correct. You know, all the time. Opening the shop, a brick and mortar shop, is I had a pub, okay, I had a guest house, okay, I had my own businesses, but I always had a plan B. So if this business fails, I can do this, or I can do that, or I can do that. Right now, this is it. I have to hit it, So, and I'm sure it will work out. But always in the back of your mind, you always have the doubt that, okay, it works out, but if it doesn't, you have people who are depending on you, you have animals who are depending on you, and the responsibility of running a business. That's the whole thing. Gina, I've been doing epoxy resin trays, and I have a leveling table that's worth shit. So all my trays are not level. How do I fix it? Uh, I don't know what is a leveling table, but here's what I do. Okay, and you might be able to take some tips on that. So I have this sheet of MDF. Okay, here, this. Point it down. Not advertisement. Oh my god. So this sheet of MDF, it's 25 millimeters thick, and because it's 25 millimeters thick, the flattest surface you can get is MDF. MDF is always flat. Doesn't matter what you find, but it's always flat. And on the MDF, I have an acrylic sheet or a polycarbonate sheet or a plastic. And hello, baby. Hello, baby. Thank you for coming by. And so I have this MDF sheet, and I get these little and this MDF sheet sits on the storage shelf. Okay, and I use these popsicles on the corners if I have to level it or adjust the level. I know this table, the lowest point is in that corner, so I always have some popsicles in that corner. And when I put a piece here and I see that the epoxy is going in one direction or the other direction, I put popsicles in that corner and popsicles in this corner, and that's basically how I level it out. Yes. Also, Marcy is right. Wood and acrylic will warp over time. 25 mil MDF, it's this thick. It's this thick. This does not warp because this is a 1 meter 20, so 120 centimeter by 80 centimeter sheet. So basically, this sheet is not big enough to warp, but thick enough not to warp. I know this because we used to work with this for years in the workshop where I helped out as a kid. So this won't warp, but yeah, Marcy is right. If you can get something stable, that could help. So that could help. That's how I level it. I don't know what is a leveling table, to be honest. What is a leveling table? I'm going to do that right now, quick. Give me a second. Leveling table. Oh, this looks fancy. Oh, I didn't know about this, to be 100% honest to you. I never seen anything like this before. But I'm looking at the Google results, and this is not level. Okay. You know what, Gina? I think you are onto something. Because if you make a dam around the leveling table with a piece of tape or some shit, just to make sure the epoxy doesn't float off, right? Then you pour some epoxy on top of it, that will level itself out. That's how you level out concrete floors. So when you have a room where the floor is not even, you can pour epoxy on it or concrete on it to level it out. And that would create, but after that you can't change the leveling on it, but that will be level to that surface which it's on. Also, you can use a laser level to help you. because these tables are different shapes and sizes. The spirit level here, it will give you a ballpark level, but as you can see, the bubble can be here or here, close to the line, and if it's like a micron away from the center point, it could be off level. So this won't give you the 100% exact level. Yeah, true. The epoxy will tend to warp as well from the heat produced by curing resin. Chasing the perfect level. Gloss. Okay, that doesn't work. Let me think. Yeah, all I can think of is getting a laser level. So when we built furniture back in the day, we got a laser level, which we pointed at the thing we wanted to have level, and the laser line was just above it, and we were able to level it out with the laser level. But laser levels are quite expensive. Make sure, I don't know which country you're from, but make sure if there is a tool rental shop where you can rent one for the period that you need it. But try to use a laser level, because that will give you that certain laser what you call it level. Another way is to get tempered piece of glass and place it on top of your leveling table. Yes, that's true. And tempered glass wouldn't morph. Yeah, that would work. But again, you have to level the glass piece as well with like pieces of wood or whatever debris. That could work too. Yes. It's a whole thing, chasing the zeros. But yeah, always another way. Daisy, hi Daisy. Another way is to get a piece of wood and put adjustable screws in each corner and turn up and down as needed. Very good idea. So I actually can show you what you need for that. So you need threaded inserts and a piece of wood. And you can get these threaded inserts by the kilo from Amazon, right? So it's basically you drill this inside the wood and you get a bolt. And you get a bolt and you put the bolt inside the threaded insert like so. Okay, and imagine this is being inside of the wood. I need to show it to you somehow that you can see it actually. So this is inside the wood. All right. Live stream because I'm a professional. Doesn't work. So yeah, this is inside the wood, and you have this bolt, and you can twist and turn the bolt to create a leg, right? And you can adjust that. So it's basically an adjusting frame. But also wood can warp as well. Yeah, but Marcy, when you adhere the glass to the leveling table, you just thicken up the leveling table. Ha! In Italian in USA. Lovely. Buongiorno, darling. Buongiorno. Yes, my husband made me one exactly like this. Brilliant description, works perfect. Yeah, so that would work perfect. If you glue the glass piece on top of the leveling table, you basically just thicken the leveling table up. That won't solve the problem itself, as far as I think. I could be wrong. I think you should give this a go, but make sure you use a thick enough hardwood to have this adjusting thing, because wood tends to flex over time. Or get a very thick piece of MDF, like I have one here. This also stays flat, but it could be just a temporary solution. You know, you never know. To be honest, because hardwood tends to flex too, due to the. Oh, okay. This was a failed experiment I done, and you can see the. Oh, you can't. But there's the rings of the wood, and due to the rings, it tends to curve like this over time. I mean, this is mahogany, and I tried to make a. So I made an angle grinder art on it, and I filled it with epoxy, and it failed miserably. But yeah, so this is one thing you could do if you use MDF as thick as you can. That will be straight for a long time. Yes, Marcy, you're right. Want change the shape, and you can also do. Okay, here is an idea. Get a piece of glass, get these 2x4s, and make a frame for underneath the glass, right? So you put the glass on top of the frame, and then you put those adjusting legs thingies inside the wood, right? So you can always adjust the wood's level, but your surface is going to be flat as heck, and you can adjust the level. But yeah, the laser. I mean, to be honest, guys, I mean, I think the laser is your best. And I don't know how much they go for. Let me just do a quick Google on that. So how much is a laser level? Laser level. Shopping. Okay, show me what you got. Okay, so I have a Bosch laser level, professional laser level, and they sell it for, I don't know if you can see it, but they sell it for 24 euros here. But they go from 24, they go from like $10 up to 400, and you can buy a devil level, like professional with everything. That's $4,000. I don't think you need that. Well, get the cheap one. Uh, Actually, Mark, you're right. If you glue it with epoxy, that will solve that. I mean, if you are desperately need to have it extremely dead on level, laser level is the thing. I'll be honest with you guys. I have this board and I have these little spatulas and cardboard and paper, and I pour out the resin, and as it goes in one corner, I adjust it, and it takes about like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes fucking around with it in the corners, putting the little pegs in there, and eventually it levels out. Oh, one more thing. Hold on. Hold on. There is something you can buy, and let me see if I can find it. Leveling peg or leveling plastic. Mm, there you go. Um, so it's called plastic shims for leveling. Leveling shim. Shim. Okay. There we go. So if you Google leveling shims, these are little bits of plastic in an angle of a triangle, or can you see that? It's like a door stopper, okay? But they come in different sizes and different angles. And when we made built-in furniture in England, we leveled out the base with these little pegs. So we got the leveler out, and we put these pegs underneath. And the further you push it in, it raises that corner up that much. So, and that is like, I don't know, you guys can buy like 100 piece for $2 or something, like stupid money, right? And you can push it in as much as you need to raise the level of it. So glass sheet, tempered glass by Marcy, and you put these things just underneath, and you can always level it out to the right position. You know, that could work. Uh, I know you can always, glue it to it or something. But yeah, I mean, if you need to, because sometimes when I make art, I need the art to go like this way down or this way down or something. But I mean, this could work too. Leveling is a whole science in itself, but like with epoxy, when you do epoxy, you have time to adjust it while the epoxy is on the art piece of thing. Well, yeah, it's a whole thing. I find that leveling a table, it's a fucking nightmare. If I make my own legs from wood, getting adjustable feet is a must. And I always forget to buy the adjustable feet for the tables. And all of my tables legs are even, but any floor I try to put it on is not even. So I can't even. Okay, now on my list to buy are laser level to replace my spirit level and shims. You don't have to buy a laser level. I mean, we are not working with microns, guys. Come on. We are not working in a thousandth of an inch, you know, space. And if we are working on small pieces, if it's not 100% level, you can't see it. We are not machinists, we are artists. So don't invest hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars into laser levels, for heaven's sake. Use the pegs. Keep it simple. Come on. This is what I'm all about. Just keep it simple. You don't overthink it. People have done it thousands of years ago. They built extremely sturdy constructions, apart from the Tower of Pisa, but extremely sturdy constructions using just pegwoods. Okay. Do I use a thick coat of epoxy? It bothers me. I know it's there. I mean, yeah, you can do that. Honestly, well, don't sweat it too much. It's just, I mean, why would you need a super level surface? Oh yeah, for that definitely laser level. Laser level is a key for constructions, especially in America, where everything is made out of paper and wood. Gina, can you please clarify what would you like to sell? Because I think I lost the train of thought here, or a message maybe. Help me here to catch up. I will wait because the chat is about 20 seconds late to what I'm talking about. The trays I'm trying to level. Okay, now I get it. So you're making epoxy trays and you want to level out the epoxy trays. Gotcha. Let me think of that. Trying to level out epoxy trays. First of all, you need to pour it on a flat surface, madam. That's basically your leveling issue. That's it. Because you can always level the top. Okay, so how should I explain this? Okay, so let's take this as an example. This is an epoxy tray. You just poured it on a flat surface. Doesn't matter which way it goes. If it's a micron this way or a micron this way, if you pour it and the surface is flat, your baseline will be the bottom of your tray. That will be super fucking flat. Unless your mold is not even. But then you get an even mold. You get an acrylic sheet, fucking silicone pasted all over, and there you have it. Now hold on tight. So then you have a reference flatness. You do the thing on your tray, okay, and then it cures, okay, and now you have a super flat base, and then you have a maybe this is thicker, this is lower, but then you can put some rubber feet on it, and it's gonna be flat as heck. Now, how do you flatten out? So how do you flatten out the top? Two ways you can go about this. You can use a surface planer machine in the corner here, and that will level it out for you, and then you just sand it smooth. So if it's not level and if you have art inside, so you can't remove too much material, then I would go by, once it's completely cured, I would raise it up a bit, okay, something like this, and I would tape it around and pour a flat coat over it. It doesn't matter if it's thicker here or lower here, but put a little flat coat on it, maybe 2 millimeters, okay? And once that cures, you will have enough material on the top which you can remove to flatten the top. So therefore, I advise you to do this, okay? So you don't have to have a level table for that, because if you want to level that thing out, you can very simply do it with a straight edge. Hold on. So if you don't want to buy a piece leveler like that, that blue thing in the corner, it's made in India and it costs basically nothing. I paid 350 euros for it, and works great. And this is the cheapest I could get. So if you don't have that, get a straight edge. This is a piece of hardened steel rod, right? And this is level. Like this is, it's straight. So what I do, like for example, this corner, for example, this corner is higher than this. So what I do is I check it. If I put it on it, and if I have space, empty space, a void here, I can see through it. And I start sending this corner down. And I put the piece on it like this. And I put a piece on it like, I can't show it right now, but I put the piece on it like this. And see in relation to this corner, or in relation to this corner, what is the height. And I start sending it and sending it until I have it flat everywhere, and the straight edge is touching it everywhere. Oh, come on, Marcy. It is what it is. I have a small bladder. I know what you mean. I've been holding it for 2 hours now. Yeah, so this is how I would go about leveling something out. Get a straight edge, make sure I hold it down, and for example, I see that I have in the middle these bows like this. So I move the straight because I can wobble it like this. So I can push down here, this comes up, and I push down here, this comes up, which means that in the center I have a dome. And I come down, and I see that here it's way higher than here. So I need to send it here, this way. Yeah, the same. So this is basically the high area of this piece. So I just sand it down. And once I can't wobble this thing anywhere, then it's flat. So that's how I would go about flattening something out, because our reference point, the bottom, is always flat. Does this work for you, Gina? Does it make sense? Am I making sense whatsoever, or I know I went a bit complicated on it, but yeah, that's how you make something flat without any special equipment or power tools or special tools. Just get the straight metal. What is it? L console or L? I don't know, but you can't bend this. This is like solid construction steel rod. Or if you have a bigger piece, okay, and you don't want to invest into router thing. Okay, let's just put this back here. So when you don't want to invest into the router thing, you can invest into a router sled. Look into that. That's also something you can build for yourself. And I have a router sled in that corner too. I used to use that for bigger art pieces, and I push the router back and forth to smoothen it out. It makes an extremely huge mess, but it works. And then you just send it smooth, and ta-da, you have something going. You know, I need some water. I've been talking too much. So does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Yeah. Leveling is well, that's a way I never thought of for surface leveling. I use a thin layer of acrylic paint and begin sanding, concentrating on any areas that still have traces of paint after the majority of it's gone. Exactly. And that is called markers ink. And I don't have it in the shop right now, but basically, if you don't have that's another way to go about it. That is not to the micron, so that is not the 000 smoothness, but it's good enough. Also, what you can do is you run a pencil over the surface, okay, and you sand it, and that will help you to fix the pits and uneven, the smaller unevenness. So if If it's not like one corner of a big area, and then if it's just a small thing, when you send it down, the pencil mark will stay on that area which is lower than the others. So yeah, that's actually a very good way to go about it. That is actually a very smart way to go about it, and many of the woodworkers use that to find the divots and pits in the wood to make it nice and smooth. Takes a lot of elbow grease though, but yeah, that's a way to go about it. All right, guys. I think it's time for me to go and feed the pups because they really want to eat some dinner, and it's been 3 hours. It was a pleasure. How do I get rid of? How do I get rid of an embed oil food? I don't have a solution for that. Heating it up, maybe, and trying to like clean it off because when you heat it up, it comes up to the top. I would try that, but that's you have to remove material for that. There is no solvent you can pour on it which will bring it out and not damage the wood. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with me tonight. It was a pleasure, and I had so much fun. And yeah, thanks for. Yeah, it will seep back out. It will seep back out because it's in the grain. But yeah, so thanks very much for hanging out again. And I need to go. I need to feed these pups. It was a pleasure to have all of you here, and I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. And it was good to vent for me, and I hope it was good for you too. And yeah, hopefully, if the God's willing, I'll see you guys next Sunday, same time, same place, probably better internet. Okay, and watch out for the videos this year. This year, eh, it's 10 p.m. Okay, so watch out for the videos this week. I will try to be constant and send the video up every day. Maybe we're gonna get a shop update or something. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today, and thanks for the support. And remember, art is for everyone, and we need to keep experimenting to create new things. So yeah, thanks again for hanging out, and see you guys. Have a good night.